Today we are talking about how to market your chickens. Trust me, it's not just about raising them. It's about knowing how much and where you are going to sell them. For my case, we are about 4 weeks old and I've already started putting out a word on the street. So if someone asks me, when should I start marketing my chickens? Well, you can start as soon as you stock your chickens, but the right time, like the real practical time, it's when your chickens are 3 weeks. Why at 3 weeks? At this time, you have already established one of the most important thing, and that's the costs. The first thing you have to do if you are about to market your products is to know how much you have spent on raising each chicken. This is where a lot of farmers get tripped up. I'm talking about everything. How much did it cost you? Let's from the start to the finish. I'm talking about the chicks themselves. How much did you buy them? And then let's talk about the feeds. How much did it cost you to feed these chicks? And then the transportation, the medication, we have the overhead bills like electricity, water. So how much, even labor, including labor, like some of you hire people to do some stuff on your farm. So how much did it cost you? So once you are clear about how much you have spent on raising each chick, you'll be able to price yourself. Of course, you do not want to underprice yourself and lose money, but at the same time, you do not want to price yourself out of the market. So it's about finding that sweet spot. Then the other thing, after establishing exactly how much and how much you want to charge per each chick, then you have to know the market trends. I know it sounds like a no-brainer, but it makes a huge difference. So you can take a walk around the local markets, visit some restaurants, grocery stores, and know exactly how much these people are willing to pay for your chickens and what are the ongoing market trends. You'll be able to establish whether the price you want to sell your chickens at are really practical or they are not realistic. So now let's talk about where to sell your chickens. Trust me, there are a ton of options, but let's start with the failed farmers. You know, failed farmers make great numbers, and there's nothing that beats numbers. If you are doing poultry farming, you can't do it alone. You have to do it with other people. And those very people you're working with, they will be able to recommend you and give you referrals for clients who are going to buy from you. Some of these farmers, they have lots of connections and they have already built relationships. They have been in the industry for some time. And remember, there are other buyers who want like bulk. And for example, if you're a small farmer like me, if you have a small number of birds, it's sometimes difficult for you to sell to big clients, because for them they want like 500 birds and above, 1,000 birds and above. So if you have a number which is less than that, it can get a bit difficult. So what you can do, you can team up with some big farmers. If someone has like 1,000 birds, you can add on your birds and then you make a huge sale. So working with other farmers will give you a great option for selling your chickens. The other thing you can do is to, especially if you're not in a hurry, you can freeze your chickens. This is a great option. What you can do, you can buy a freezer, slaughter your chickens, dress them well, and then store them in the fridge. This will give them like a longer shelf life, and you can sell them at your own pace. It will allow you time to go to restaurants, hotels, and other places who may be interested in frozen chickens. But there are some other people, there are other clients who want fresh meat. That's why the word of mouth is very important. Reach out to people and build strong relationships when you are in the business of broilers. When it comes to broilers, it's the market. That's why you have to be like super aggressive when you're dealing in broilers. Most people prefer layers because there is no need to shout about the eggs. The eggs won't go bad. But if you're dealing with the broilers, my friend, you have to be aggressive when it comes to marketing. The other thing, you visit the abattoirs. You know, these slaughter places where they slaughter animals from. The cows, the goats, sometimes they also have a space for chickens. You can go there, like for example, for my case, my previous batch, I sold it at the abattoir. However, one important advice, if you're going to sell your chickens to those guys of the abattoirs, you have to be super vigilant because these guys are cheats and they really like no-brainers like us. If you're a newbie in business, they really like taking advantage. So this is what you do. These people usually come at your place and they slaughter your chickens while you're watching. The first thing they do, they can take like the internal organs, the liver and other things. That is where it should start from. Don't allow them to take your internal organs, because those internal organs, they add on the kilograms. Remember, they are paying you per kilo. And the other thing, if you're going to deal with these guys, make sure you have your own scale, because their scales are faulty. When it comes to time of weighing them, they are going to cheat you. That's where they cheat from. And you'll be wondering, how did I lose money? So if you're selling your chickens to these guys, make sure you're super, super vigilant. And there's another great opportunity. If you're near a general market, don't sleep on that. If you're near big markets, like let's say if you're in Kampala or around Kampala, there are these markets like Nakasero, Kisenyi. If you're near those markets, don't sleep on that. That's a gold mine where you can sell your chickens from. It may take some time for people to notice you, but trust me, once they do, you're going to have a win there. You have to be like super patient, just have good customer service, talk to people, build relationships. Thing is, if you're into broilers, people will know that you deliver these kind of chickens at this price. That means you have to be consistent, especially if you get a spot in general markets. People have to know that you are always with the chickens, maybe around this time, and this is how you sell them. You build your brand, speak to people, build relationships. The other thing, if you are into tech, that's another place where you can sell your products from. You know, make use of Facebook groups, make use of WhatsApp groups, make use of, you know, like YouTube. Post your business. Tech is about being visible. Once you're visible and people know that you always have chickens online, they will reach out to you. Those online clients turn into real clients in this era. So don't sleep on that. If you have a phone in your hands, take a picture, tell people what you're doing, and let people keep track of whatever you are doing, so that when it comes to selling, they will know your chickens are ready for buying. So trap up, marketing your broiler chickens is not just about setting up a stall or posting a price tag. It's about understanding the market trends and knowing your costs. Whether you're approaching fellow farmers or you're selling at local supermarkets or restaurants, it's about having as many channels where you can sell your products as possible. So thank you so much for watching, and if you find this video very insightful, kindly consider subscribing to the channel for more farming tips. I wish you the best in marketing your product.